All right, it looks like we are live, and yes, I am in the car. We are what day is this? This is day 4 of the Barter Black Day Entrepreneurship Summit. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for being here throughout the week. We have done so much. The speed networking event last night was absolutely amazing. Um, Let me make sure that is good. The speed networking event was absolutely amazing last night, but today we are in day 4 of the Barter Black Marketplace, and I am going to immediately pass it on to Demise, who is going to be here speaking to you tonight. And enjoy.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Good evening to everybody, wherever you are in the world. I'm super excited about this opportunity to be able to share in this thing that I love. More importantly than just sharing my time, the gift that I call what we're going to get to in a second. I'm super thankful for it. One, because I just happened to stumble upon this, browsing around my city, browsing around my area and saying, you know what, I need to do a little bit more to be able to impact my community. And I said, how can I best do that? Well, I know what I teach, I know what I do, and this would be the best way, but where can we do it? And that's when I found this organization and I said, this is it. And this was my time to shoot my shot. And it actually turned around to work out in my favor. So I'm here. So for those who don't know me, and I don't know how many people are in the room, my name is Demias Perdue, and I am the founder of Perdue Leadership Institute. I founded this company based on the premise that, I realized there was a gap in the world and there's not much education on it, especially within our community. And so, what is that gap? That gap is the knowledge, the understanding, and the application of emotional intelligence. As the founder of this company, I have the luxury of partnering with Talent Smart EQ based out of San Diego, California, as one of their lead keynoters and speakers on emotional intelligence. I travel the world as the director of military solutions, doing that for them. And it's been great because I'm able to do what I love within my own company and do the exact same thing for companies such as AT&T, the Air Force, companies like Invesco. And now I'm doing it right now in front of you all. So I'm extremely happy about that, thrilled to be able to do it. And here's the title for what I want to talk about. I want to go through excellence in emotional intelligence habits. EQ is emotional quotient. That's an interchangeable term for emotional intelligence, but for the sole purpose of the key of well-being. This is the key to well-being. And why do I say that? Before I dive into the content in this short amount of time that we have together, I want you to get to know who I am first and foremost. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama, born to a single parent, single mother, who raised me alongside my grandmother, who was phenomenal, still in this world. And they pushed me to be a better version of me. But the version of me that they created was the version of a man who had to grow up before his time because there were no men and there were no fathers within our space. So I became the person who was not necessarily showing and expressing emotions in the way that was effective. And so I began to be the person who wore their heart on their sleeve, but never expressed what was happening. So I was an emotive person, but I didn't show it only in certain spaces. And that way of thinking was further imprinted on my life because of the career path I chose. You see, at 17 years old, after graduating high school, I chose to raise my hand to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I did so as a United States Marine for 22 years. And I'm about a year and a half removed from my actual retirement from the Marine Corps. And so there's some good things that I got from that, which is going to set the stage for where we're going right now. The first thing I got from that is that the Marine Corps was very effective. The Marine Corps was effective, and anything of importance, they truly taught us what we should do with it. You see, when I wore my uniform, my service alpha belt, my belt needed to be between 2 3/4 to 3 3/4 of an inch. And when I wore my ribbons, I knew my ribbons had to be 1/8 of an inch above the pocket. And if I had badges, they had to be 1/8 of an inch separated from that. You see, anything of importance with the Marine Corps, they told us where to put it. But there was one thing I dealt with. There was one thing I dealt with every single day of my life that I was never told where to put it. And because they didn't tell me what to do with it, I put them away. And those things were my emotions. And because of that, I was not effective. I wasn't able to develop effective emotional intelligence habits, and my well-being was affected because of the things I had to do. And now that we have this as a level set about what's going on, I want to first dispel some myths about emotional intelligence. I need you to sit back wherever you are. Let's go ahead and dispel some myths about emotional intelligence. Here's what people tend to think EQ is. They think EQ is running and frolicking through a field of flowers. They think it's everybody holding hands and there's a seance and everybody is just together. But no, that's not what EQ is. EQ is about the exact same word I use for the Marine Corps. It's about being effective. How effective are you in your workplace with handling your emotions when somebody disagrees with you? How effective are you in your workplace when somebody sends you an email and they actually got the story wrong and they're pointing the finger at you? How effective are you when you drive home after a long work day and you go into the house and now your kids are running at you and you haven't had a break yet? How effective are you? I got to get on you, Nicole, when the internet is acting crazy and you're having to sit in the car. How effective are you? Emotional intelligence is about that word. And I want to do that to be able to help everybody who's on the other side of this call be more effective in their lives. The way that I'd like to talk about this, what's going on, Travis? Good to have you here. The way I like to talk about this is when we see the brain, we think about our brain and we think about thinking. We think about thinking, we think about thoughts, and the left side of it, not necessarily a left brain and right brain thing. That's not where we are on this. But when we think about the left side, I want you to just look at this picture and I want you to see, it's my buddy YB. What's up, man? I want you to see this as all of the things that we go through, processes, putting things together, making A meet B, making B meet C. And then I want you to look at the right side of this. You see the right side of this. This is where action happens. This is where love is. This is where passion is. And I don't want us to think about our brain. I want us to think about EQ, which is known as the heart brain. You see, the heart brain allows us to be able to think and pair those thoughts with rational thinking. And we're going to get there in a second. Here's what our agenda looks like for this very short period of time that we have together. We're going to talk about well-being and how EQ affects that well-being. We're going to do a short definition of emotional intelligence. I know we don't have a lot of time. Y'all listen, I teach this material, no kidding, sometimes 8-hour sessions, 2-day sessions, but I'm giving you all some brief points. So what you see on the slides, you can't get everything tonight. So hopefully we can get back together again. We're going to go through a few EQ skills and habits. And lastly, I'm going to give you some strategies for success. Research says that the average human being has anywhere from 60 to 70,000 thoughts going through their mind per day. Now, here's the thing about this. Of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts, they say that 70 to 80% of those thoughts are negative and recurring. Now, let's let that sit for a second. 60 to 70,000 thoughts, and of those, that great number is negative and recurring. You see, this is the thing that begins to affect well-being. When you have your thoughts that are positive, that's a great thing. But then when you have these thoughts that are negative, 70 to 80% of them recurring, that begins to weigh you down. And those are the things that directly affect well-being. Well-being can be defined many ways. If you look in the dictionary, you can see many different ways about well-being and what it looks like. But by definition, just for here, according to Michelson and team, that's what the et al. Is. We're going to make sure that you all see that well-being can be understood as this: how people feel, how they function both on a personal and a social level, and more importantly, how they evaluate their lives as a whole. Now, I want to highlight 3 key words from this. I want to highlight the word feel. I want to highlight the word function, and I want to highlight the word evaluate when we talk about well-being. You see, when I read it this time, well-being can be understood as how people feel. We are emotional creatures, even though we don't want to admit it. Men and women alike, that's just who we are. It's helped us survive. Our emotions do. Our emotions let us know when we need to get out of traffic, when a car is coming. Our emotions tell us that there's a danger. Emotions are simply data, not good nor bad. They're telling us that something is happening that we must pay attention to. And so with that feeling, that helps me function both on a personal and a social level, professional and a personal level, and more importantly, well-being. Here we go. This is how I evaluate my life. And if I would pose the question to anybody listening, what is the level of your well-being in your life right now? How do you feel every day? Are you truly paying attention to your emotions to be able to function and to be able to evaluate how you are as a whole? I won't go through all of these things that are on this slide right now, but I just want you to take a look at this. And if you are in your space right now and you see this slide, I want you to look and I want you to think about, do I check all of these boxes on the left? Am I healthy in my body? Am I healthy in my mind? Am I healthy in the work, my spirit, no matter what your faith system is? Am I healthy in my finances? Am I well with my community? Am I aware of my emotions? And more importantly, my environment? I have a system that I use to operate on, and I call it the bodies, where every single day, this is my motto. You can take this, but make sure if you use it, you got to copyright me at least once. Give me twice. I call it the model of the bodies. And I make sure I take care of these bodies every day because this is part of my well-being and in turn leads to others' well-being being taken care of. The first thing every day I get up and I take care of my spiritual body. Whatever that means to you, that means to you. But for me, I know what it means for me. I get up and I take care of my spiritual body. And then I take care of my physical body. Let's look at the well-being components now. We've got spirit on there and we've got body. I get up and I take care of my spiritual body first. And then I do some type of physical activity to take care of my physical body because this is the vessel that allows me to be able to do the thing that I love, the thing that I'm doing right now. And then after I've taken care of my physical body, they say that the human body is more receptive. The human mind is more receptive to information after physical activity. And so now that I've taken care of my physical body, my spiritual body, and then my physical body, I then pour knowledge into myself to take care of my mental body because it's receptive. And after I've done all three of those things, I'm now better positioned to take care of the fourth body, which is everybody. But I can only do that when I'm well. I can only do that when I've checked in with my emotions. I can only do that when I've been concerned and really paid attention to how is Demaya's feeling? Did I accomplish the things I said I wanted to accomplish today? Am I happy with my relationship at home, my community? Am I happy with my environment? Am I happy with my job? Am I working this job simply because it pays the bills? Or am I working this job because I truly love it? Because when you're doing something you love, you will show up every day, day in and day out. But if you're doing something just to pay the bills, it becomes different. This is the reason why so many people leave the workplace because of everything on the right-hand side of this screen. Heightened levels of stress, which decreases their productivity. They're not satisfied with their job. And when you're not dealing with your emotions and you're not focusing on them, listen, there have been so many people who have worked jobs until they were at the point of retirement. And when they got to that point of retirement, they retired and they weren't in the world long enough after that to be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Their well-being was not in check. And when the well-being is not in check, you are not able to function in the best way possible. So what do we do to be able to get there? How do we increase well-being? The way that we do that is we leverage the power of the number one predictor of success, which is emotional intelligence. EQ, emotional quotient, is defined as the ability to recognize and understand the emotions in yourself and others, and more importantly, the ability to manage that awareness to improve your behavior and your relationships. Now, this is another acronym in here, RUM, recognize, understand, and manage. All three of these have to go together to truly be considered emotionally intelligent. Now, I know the acronym RUM is in there. And I know it's 5, but I'm gonna need y'all to hold off on all of that while we're doing this. I just need you to focus on what's happening right now. But here's what we're gonna do with this definition. I'm gonna give you some things right now to help change your mindset. And then through that, you're gonna get a few tools so that you walk away from here. I don't care if it's one person in this room, so that you, yes, you walk away from here with a skill set that can help you not only increase your well-being, but it can help you impact the well-being of everyone else. Here's what EQ is broken down into. These 4 skills are what's taught by Dr. Travis Bradbury and Dr. Gene Greaves. They are the founders of the Emotional Intelligence 2.0, the writers of Emotional Intelligence 2.0 book and the founders of Talent Smart EQ, the world's premier organization for emotional intelligence. And so, by definition, here's what I want to be able to do. I want us to be able to talk through some strategies for each one. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back because we've got time. I don't want to just skim past these for you all. I want to define self-awareness because many people think they're aware of things, but they're not fully sure of what that looks like. Self-awareness is your ability to recognize your emotions, pause, in the moment, to better understand your tendencies across situations. But the problem is we don't recognize our emotions until after we've already done something. Our emotions have already taken control of the wheel. We've been emotionally hijacked and we've done something. And now we become fully aware of what was going on. You see, that's poor self-awareness. And see, then you got self-management, because the awareness is one thing. But if I am paying attention to my emotions, now I need to be able to manage it effectively. Self-management is your ability to use this awareness of your emotions to stay flexible, to be able to manage your emotions to a positive outcome. Now, I need you all to listen to me here. When I say managing your emotions to a positive outcome, I need you to think about this, because many times people care more about saying things to get it off of their chest instead of doing things to a positive outcome. Is that thing you want to say, is it really necessary to say? To what end will this be? Is it wise? Is the question I would ask you. And that's, if you can say yes to that, that's effective emotion management. But if you can't say yes to that, that's not effective emotion management. And that's not high self-management in itself. And that's where many people fail. The definition said the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions. Our problem is, even when we recognize who we are, because this is what you hear in our space a lot. I know who I am. I know what makes me tick. I understand what makes me tick. That's the first two components. But what makes you effective is how well do you manage this? How well do you manage your emotions when you feel you've been wronged? How well do you manage your emotions when you truly did not get a good night's rest and you got to show up to work the next day and you got talking Sally right there in your face and you ain't even had your morning cup of coffee yet? How well do you manage your emotions when your kids are doing the thing you told them not do? How well? You see, self-management means I am truly considering where I am and where I feel. We got Rosa here, says, I have to do the same thing when advocating for my son. Results have no room for feelings. Listen, when we talk about results and we say no room for feelings, now I would love that we got to table this conversation, because no matter what we do, the emotions live in it. No matter what we do, our emotions are in this thing. And when we move to the third component, this is where feelings do exist, and no matter what we do, because they affect other people. Check this out. Social awareness is defined as your ability to accurately pick up on the emotions of other people and understand how it impacts them. The way we talk about it when we travel and we teach, we talk about this from the standpoint of an iceberg. You see, the tip of the iceberg is everything that you can see in somebody: their behavior, their clothing, their language. Those are things that you can see. Social awareness is what I can pick up visually and what I can pick up by hearing. But the other part of social awareness is everything below the surface. You see, the greater portion of the iceberg is what you can't see. And these are all of the things that affect people, even the children. There are things that are happening with children below the surface that we don't understand, because many times they can't intelligently tell us what's happening below the surface. And if we don't do the things that are necessary, asking the right questions, having the patience, having the understanding, probing a little bit deeper, creating a space that feels safe enough for them to elaborate on the things that they're going through, we will miss out on a lot of the data that lives below the surface because of our heightened levels. Here's another thing. I would like you to think about what's below your waterline that people don't know about. What's below the waterline that people, I come from a career where people say emotions should be checked at the door. 22 years as an active duty Marine. I come from a space where people said you should check your emotions at the door. Well, that is impossible to do that. When they say there's no space for feelings, well, let me tell you why that is impossible based on research, based on the brain. Everything that we experience, even the sound of my voice right now, comes to the base of the brain in the form of a stimulus. And after that signal is received, it then moves to what is known as the limbic system. The limbic system is where our emotions live. That is the housing unit for our emotions. Now, from the limbic system, if we pause, it allows it to move to our frontal lobe where rational thinking happens. Now, if I immediately receive a stimulus and I react right away, I can't bypass that feelings and emotional spot and go from stimulus right to rational thinking. That's impossible. That's not how the brain works. Because if that was the case, prisons wouldn't be as flooded as they are. Relationships would be far more solid and the divorce rate wouldn't be what it is. There wouldn't be any domestic violence incidents because people would be able to have a stimulus and skip over being frustrated, skip over being excited, and go right to rational thinking. But we can't do that. And since we can't do that, we must be concerned about what's below our surface. Why does this bother me so much? Why am I so frustrated? Or even the other side, why am I so happy about this? Why does this bring me so much joy? Because if we didn't allow it to go to rational thinking, we'd be falling in love with everybody because we feel so good. But rational thinking tells us we've had experiences before, and now we can be able to pair that with the emotion. Emotional intelligence is about putting the two together. It's not about emotional thinking and rational thinking. Emotional intelligence is how can I combine the heart brain with my rational brain? How can I put those together to be effective? That's what this thing is all about. And lastly, when we talk about how do we put it all together, we've got self-awareness and we've got self-management. We've got social awareness. And the last thing is about managing relationships. Managing that relationship means my ability to be aware of my own emotions and the emotions of the people who I'm interacting with. And so we do that portion by talking about the needs model, right? In a relationship, I have my needs, not my wants, because my needs are something, I'm not compromising on this now. And then my bride also has her needs. So I have my needs, she has her needs, and then we have what's required to make the relationship work. But here's the thing about EQ. Managing relationships means that I meet my needs, I meet her needs, and I meet what's required. Not I meet my needs and she meets her needs. And then she in turn for to be effective, she has to meet her needs, my needs, and what's required. This same thing applies in any relationship you have. That's what healthy relationship management looks like. So here's what I want to do right now for our last bit of time that we got together. I want to be able to talk about a few strategies for success. And one of the first ones I want to go over is how do you beat stress? How do you beat stress and how do you stay calm? Let's be honest. It's difficult sometimes. It's really difficult based on who you're talking to. It's difficult based on, is this situation that got me in this heightened state? Is this something that came from somebody who's close to me, or did this come from a stranger? Because I can deal with some people who don't mean anything to me. If you don't have value to me, I can deal with that. But if you're close to me, oh, that affects me. Let me tell you something that affects a lot of people when I travel and I teach. Here's one thing that helps people, that gets people outside of pocket. Let's say that. When you question how they parent, I've seen that challenge a lot of people. When you don't give them the opportunity to tell their side of the story, I've seen that happen. When you have a poor relationship with a boss, I've seen that cause heightened levels of stress. But the first strategy that I would have for everybody that's in attendance, and if there's a replay for somebody getting the replay, is to reframe your perspective. When I talk about reframing your perspective, I'm an author. And the title of my book is Elevation Requires Change, The Journey Towards Purpose and Fulfillment. And in that book, I talk about what it actually means to change your perspective. And I call it the optometrist method. You see, I clearly have glasses on, and just about everybody has had an eye exam before. When you go in for the eye exam, you sit in front of what's known as a phoropter, and they come in and the first thing you see is that hot water balloon in the back. And then they begin to put all the letters up. And when they put the letters up, what they allow you to do is they continue to make the adjustments and they ask, is this better or worse? And if it's worse, you tell them and they make the small micro adjustment. And they continue to make those adjustments until you have a new perspective, prescription. And many of us don't take the time to make those micro adjustments. We react right away. We look at that situation and we would rather get it off of our chest right now rather than communicate. One strategy that we say is, why don't you just buy yourself some time? Because if you react right away, remember, this is operating in the limbic system. But if you buy yourself some time, that gives you the opportunity to sit in front of your emotional phoropter and allow it to assign meaning with rational thinking. And you can approach this situation better. You know, my older brother passed away in prison doing a life sentence. And my baby brother is doing a 20-year sentence. And I happen to have a 22-year career. You see, all three of us had the opportunity to change our perspective. And it wasn't that I was anybody majorly different than they were. I chose to reframe my perspective in situations, and I chose to leave Montgomery, Alabama, because I saw that I would be going down the same path. And yeah, the stress level will be a little bit different. And there now one has a prison and the other has a platform. But I can be open and tell you all that my dream is that we both share the same platform. The next thing is focusing on what you can control. When we talk about beating stress, there are certain things that you can control and certain things you can't. And so I tell you, control your controllables. One question I would always tell my Marines to ask themselves in a situation is, when everything goes awry, I want you to ask this. Ask yourself this question: can I do anything about it? And if the answer is yes, don't worry about it. And then the other question you ask yourself is, can I do anything about it? And if the answer is no, the response is the same. Don't worry about it. You focus on what you can control, what is within your sphere of influence. The next one we have here is talking about breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing has been proven to help people become better versions of themselves. That's the reason why even people who don't know EQ, when people are chaotic, everybody just slow down and just breathe. Breathing allows you to buy yourself some time to process so you can make that rational thought. And the last portion that I have here, because I want to open it up for questions, is neutralizing toxic people. You neutralize toxic people by not providing them with the same level of energy that you think they deserve. You can effectively deliver a message and tell people that you are not doing what you should be doing without getting out of character. I love this. Thank you, Rosa. Solution-based mindset. Absolutely. When you have a solution-based mindset, even with those toxic people, it's easy because I'm not focusing on the problem. Focus on your freedoms rather than your limitations. Focus on what you can do and not what you can't. That's what makes people effective. Listen, I got a lot more slides that I can be talking to you all about, but I want to be respectful of time. And I want to open the floor just if anybody had any questions regarding emotional intelligence that I could possibly answer to be able to help you out in your space. I would love to be able to do that if possible. Just in case anything got dropped in. And if nothing got dropped in, I can push and knock out another one. And we'll hold off and see. Here's another one while we wait to see if the questions come in. My second step for strategies to come along with this. Pay attention to your emotions. You receive signals telling you that something is happening, and you need to know what your signs are. I know for me, I experience my emotions from a hormonal standpoint. You have hormonal, you have cardiovascular, meaning you have an elevated heart rate, you have respiratory, your breathing pattern changes, and then you have the other side of the house, hormonal, cardiovascular, respiratory, and then you have that neuromuscular response, right? So everybody has that in a certain way, and you have to know what your signs are. I think I saw the question come up: how do you test someone's emotional intelligence? The best way to test it is through the form of an assessment. Because I can tell you right now on the other side, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm emotionally intelligent, but that might not be factual. Emotional intelligence, again, is can you recognize and understand and manage emotions? Well, you can tell me that. So one way without the assessment is watching their behavior, watching how they operate, and that would determine if that person has high self-awareness? Do they recognize their emotions? Do they have high self-management? Are they managing their emotions to a positive outcome? Do they have high social awareness? Do they care about what's below the surface with other people and how they're viewed? And can they manage that relationship? If the answer's no to any of them, it doesn't mean that they have no emotional intelligence. It just means that their emotional intelligence is lower in one of those four skills. But to answer your question from an assessment standpoint, that is the most effective way. What doesn't get measured doesn't get improved. They need to be able to see what that data says based on those questionnaires, and that gives them room to be able to make changes from there. Listen, we are at my time right now. This has been great to be able to do this. I love sharing this gift. I said this in the beginning, the gift of emotional intelligence. I can do this for hours. This classes, the courses that we put on are typically, anywhere from 4 hours to 8 hours. And then we sometimes branch it out with level 1 and level 2 and team training all the way up for a week. But this is just the surface right here. If anybody wants to get any other information, I know she put the website up. My website is www.perdueleadership.com. You can find me on Instagram at _Demias_Perdue on IG. And just type my name in. You type my name in, you can find me. And again, shout out to my man. To my man YB. Appreciate you. It's great seeing you on here. And I'm actually here because I heard you mention something of this before. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you for your time. God bless.
Thanks so much for coming. I really, really appreciate it. This was good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes, and we have to have you back. I'm sure people are going to be getting in contact with you. But thank you so much, and
Of course.
definitely stay in contact.
I will. I'll shoot you a message for a little feedback when we actually have time. So thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care of
Have a
yourself.
good night.
You too.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye.
All righty. That was absolutely amazing. I do have a notebook, but I have this little piece of paper that I was writing notes on. um, but if you, Rosa said, come back. If you notice, I am in the car for today's Barter Black Marketplace. Um, I just have to laugh because the things that we do behind the scenes that some people just do not see. So I have a conference today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I came to the event venue since this was from 5 to 7. I came to the event venue. Let me see, that light is kind of in the way. I came to the events venue to sit and host the marketplace while I wait for the conference to start. So we don't have anyone for the 5:30 slot. If anyone wants to come up and introduce themselves, their business, anything, let me know. I'll send you the link. Our next person does not come on until 6. But I wanted to recap the weekend, and let's see if I can get, not the weekend, the week. I wanted to recap the week. Thank you. Thank you for being here, sister. So if you do not know, we are celebrating Barter Black Day with the Entrepreneurship Summit. And Barter Black Day is basically a day that we have created. It is in the National Archives. So when I say Barter Black Day, I mean Barter Black Day, where we want Black entrepreneurs to come together, whether it's collaborating, whether it's sharing, whether it's buying, whether anything, come together and help each other grow and scale. And one of the things I did last night in our speed networking event, um, was my first time doing this, was at the end of the event, I had different entrepreneurs raise their hand, tell us what they did, tell us what mistake they see us making all the time that probably just grinds their gears, and then tell us how to fix that mistake or what to do to not make that mistake. So I want people, when they think of Barter Blacks, to think of a community, a place where you can come, where if you need information that you don't have, you can come to the community of Barter Black and find that information. Now, I know there are so many communities out there, but what I want people to know about Barter Black is that we are focused on you actually hiring the experts. We're focused on you getting the information from the experts. Researching, it does take a lot of time. Experts, they do cost money, but we are creating a platform where you can get the goods and services, the resources, the experts that you need in your business using the new digital currency barter bucks that we are creating. And I just got a message from our developer today saying that they should have like the first look of the actual platform next Friday, which I'm so excited about. Like, I've seen the screens, the screens have been created and are still being created, but to have it all together, it's going to be something different. But anyway, um, we chose May 31st for Barter Black Day because it is the last day of Black Wall Street as we know it. And when people think of Barter Black, I want them to think of Black Wall Street. And I feel like that we are building that Black Wall Street, that new Black Wall Street, with the power of technology and with bartering. There's so many times I hear business owners frustrated about the things that they cannot do because of funding. Funding is not always going to save us. And one of the things I loved, I went to an event last year and Damon John was there, and he mentioned how funding can be a detriment to businesses because you get that money and you don't necessarily know how to spend it correctly, or you're just spending because you have it and you don't have any strategy to do that. And he said that he feels like businesses that don't have all the money and the funds sometimes are the ones that are most successful because they figure out a way to do it. They figure out a way to make it happen. And when you learn how to figure out how to make it happen, when you do get the money, you probably can manage it a little better. I mentioned this, I think, yesterday, how I feel like these organizations and companies, they throw money at Black owned businesses, to me, just to say that we support Black owned businesses. But are you supporting them in hiring? Are you teaching them how to hire? Are you creating a space where they learn where their money should go? Are we in their business trying to help them decide where this money should go? Or are we just throwing the money and just saying, oh, we support Black owned businesses? There's a difference. And I say that and I mention that because less than 5% of our businesses are employer operated, which is telling me that we are not building sustainable businesses. And if sustainability is your goal, then you need to start hiring in your business. So that is all. That's what Barter Black is about, what Barter Black Day is about, what the Entrepreneurship Summit is about. And one of the things I want you to think about when you think about Barter Black is implementation. It's not enough to go to these conferences and spend all this money on things, on events, if you're not going to implement what you've learned. And one thing that I started to do is scale back. So I have specific events that I'm going to go to for the reasons that I'm at, not just because of all the hype. You have events that have all the hype. Oh, this. I feel like every time I go to an event, it sets me back because I learned something that I probably did not know. And instead of staying on track of what I was doing, I'm over here trying to do the things that I learned at this conference. And to me, it just hindered my growth when I was trying to grow and scale Barter Black. It really did. I was like, here, doing this. Someone suggested this, and not staying on track of what I knew that I needed to do. So I tried to make a list this year, which I have a list of the places that I am going to go to actually conferences that I am going to go to. So that's what that is all about. But this week, we have done trainings every day except for today. The Monday was about grant readiness. I believe that was that what it was about. That was the check. That was the digital product. I know. So we're not even going to discuss what the sessions was about because I can't even remember. This week has been super super long. But we catch the replay of all those in the car. You're about to call it a night. Catch those replays because they are very helpful. I know yesterday I did it on pitching, and tips about how to pitch. So definitely catch the replays on that. And then we hosted the marketplace from 5 to 7 every day. We had amazing entrepreneurs. I opened it up not to just product based businesses, but service based businesses as well, because I feel like um, sometimes I know a lot of product based businesses that do like vendor events or pop ups or things like that, but I feel like service based businesses don't really get that shine. So I open it up to everybody. And then last night we had the speed networking event. So all the events this week was to celebrate National Barter Black Day. So that's that. Today's free digital product is the grant list tracker. So this is good for anyone who wants to keep track of their grants. It's great so January 1st, the new grant list will drop. And I always say, take that list, spend about 20 minutes deciding what grants you're going to apply for this month for June. Add those to the grant list tracker. And it's only free for today. So you can go on barterblack.io and you can grab that for free by entering the coupon code BarterBlack Day 4. So the grant list tracker. So you'll be able to list the grant, the website for the grant, how much the grant is for, the due date, very important, notes. So for me, like I have 2 grants now. I think one's a pitch competition, one's a grant. So our list is free, by the way. But what was I about to say? The list includes grants, pitch competitions, accelerators, programs, all of the things that you can apply for free money. We do sometimes put on the list programs, accelerators that do ask for equity in return. So that's completely up to you. But the grant list tracker, what was I going to say about that? I forget, what I was going to say about the grant list tracker. I forget what I was going to say. But anyway, download that so you can keep track of your grants that you are going to apply for the month. And that is only for tonight. It is free. The coupon code again is Barter Black Day 4. Let me put that in the chat. And then tomorrow, our training is going to be on building your barter offer. So this is going to be important for our new platform because it's going to be like a freelancer platform that you are able to post your products and services. And I don't even know if you are able to post products on the other freelancer platforms, um, which I guess will create a value proposition for us. So thinking about that, but this will be good. I'm doing it tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are having trouble trying to figure out what you can barter, if you just do not know where to start, we're going to go through creating your barter offers. So that will be good, especially for when we launch our new platform. And again, our new platform, you are not going to have to barter with someone who barters with you. We are using a digital currency, so you can go on and pay for your services with the digital currency. Everyone on the platform will go on and be able to pay for your products and services with our digital currency. And then we're back here again, 5 to 7 p.m. for the Barter Black Marketplace. And we're going to end out and celebrate National Barter Black Day. It's the second time we are celebrating. Um, Hopefully next year we'll do an in-person event where we can actually do the speed networking in person. But this has been absolutely amazing. It's been fun. I have met so many entrepreneurs this week, um, more in the week than I've ever done. Even if it's virtually, it has been good. So let me see if I can do this in my car. I don't want to stress my internet out. The last thing I want to show you or mention is our crowd bartering campaign. And again, this is something that we launched because we are pivoting and rebuilding and redeveloping the new Barter Black. Um, I don't know if this is going to show. No, it's not going to show with this shoddy internet. Oh, okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. So yes, we are empowering the new Black Wall Street. Um, we are pivoting into a place where before, let me show you, go here, and everything is not loading the way it should, but that's okay. Our current platform, you had to be willing to barter with someone who had what you needed at the same time and for the same value. So we have um, eliminated that barrier. When we were in the cohort, one of the topics was eliminating the barriers for your clients, your customers, your shareholders, all of those things. And one of the things we found out during our this customer discovery research is that direct bartering was not working out for our besties, our barter besties. It was not working out. You either had to have the same value, or sometimes the person didn't want what you had, so it made it hard. So now we are again integrating the digital currency where you can actually go online, say purchase 5 hours of virtual assistance from someone for, I don't know, 300 barter bucks, and you earn those barter bucks by selling your products and services on the system. So we are in the process of developing that. But in developing that, I know that this is a long road and it's going to be not so easy, because we are competing, or we are going to be competing with the top freelancer platforms, right? So I'm the transparent, to an extent, entrepreneur, especially when it comes to business. I definitely don't have a problem being transparent in that. Um, but the budget just does not budget for me to build something like one of these top freelancer platforms has. And we're just going to be real and keep it real in that situation. I do not have millions of dollars to build that type of platform. So what I did was coin a new term called crowd bartering. And I launched a campaign in April. The campaign actually ends tomorrow. So if you are interested in joining the campaign, pledging your services, your products, your expertise, your skills, your resources, your time, you can do that up until tomorrow and become a founding member of the new Barter Black platform. So crowd bartering, if you've heard of crowdfunding, it's sort of similar. Crowdfunding, you are asking for financial donations to help you grow, scale, start your business. crowd bartering, you are asking for the goods, the services, the resources, the skill, the time, all of those things. Because when you think about it, people are crowdfunding to get the goods, the services, the expertise, the resources. That's what they're crowdfunding for. So I am eliminating that. I'm saying, don't give me the money, give me you. So, can I get your help in building this new platform? Um, and I think that we should start doing this more after this campaign is over and after Barter Black launches. I definitely want to work with other businesses to do this. This was a test. This is a case study to see how it works. I am not here to tell you that it has been easy in the background. One of the main things that I found very difficult is working with so many people at one time, at the same time, and it was just pulling me in all different directions. Thank goodness we have a project manager now that handles most of that. Um, but it's definitely a test to see how well you can manage people, manage your project, manage the work, and still be the CEO of your business. So it's nice to have a team that is working on all aspects of the business, but it's a lot. it's it's a lot. But I believe that if there are businesses that you believe in, or there is a person that you believe in, why don't you donate your time, your resources, your skills to that person? It does not always have to be money. If you think about it, I have, and I'm not saying this is how many people I'm working with right now. So I think it's between 17 and 22, and that's a weird number, but it's in between 17 and 22 people who submitted the form to be a part of the crowd bartering campaign, to I don't want to say volunteer, but to contribute their services to me rebuilding the new Barter Black. Absolutely amazing. But how can you manage that many people at one time? Um, so that's one of the things that I want, that I'm going through in the process, but it's one of the things that I'm going to help teach other people if they want to do a crowd bartering campaign. I do believe that this is something that we should adopt, but I do believe that this is probably something that others do. We just don't do. No, there's no term for it. Um, but I believe that if we did businesses like this, we can get a whole lot further, a lot faster as well. One of the things um, I was going to say is, let's say 20 people submitted the form for the crowd bartering campaign. That means 20 people are contributing their services, their expertise to me rebuilding the new Barter Black. My market is millions of people. So it's funny to me sometimes when people say, "Oh, I can't barter because I need." One barter should not mess up your entire business. When I have 20 people who have pledged their services and expertise, but that 20 people is going to help me go out and sell to millions of people. So that's how you have to look at things. So again, we are looking for, and this is the people that I can think off the top of my head, we are looking for an ad expert, someone who is um, an expert, someone who does this all the time, for when we relaunch, because we are going to be launching ads. If there is a human resource manager, consultant, or something like that, we want to kind of make sure that we are prepared to actually hire, because I want to do that in the next 2 or 3 months. Um, Automations, we'll need someone in that who can help us with that. And then I know we are also looking for someone who who may be an expert, and I have to figure out what you call this, but someone who may be an expert in doing like how-to videos on the website because I just don't know where to start. So those are the types of things that we are looking for. If you do not see anything on there, we may have filled it already, but fill out the form anyway. And again, this website is crowd bartering. I don't even have that one on here. Crowdbartering.com/barter black. And I will put that in the chat as well. So just like a crowdfunding campaign, the crowd bartering campaign, you do get incentives and rewards. So one of the biggest things is that you will be listed as a founding member on our platform. So that means that all the services that you post will have that founder, your profile will have that founding member badge. You do get advanced barter bucks that you can just use immediately on the platform. There are some other things that you get that I can't think of. You'll get like promotion and all those types of things, but it's not just you contributing your services. You will get incentives and things of that nature in exchange as well. And actually, let me see if it's loaded. It is not loading. Let's see. Okay, so those are the rewards. So you'll get barter bucks, you'll get early access to our platform, social media spotlight. The founding member badge is going to be huge because people are going to shop with you with that badge. And then you'll get discounts on your membership, featured offers, targeted emails, and exclusive referral bonus. We are definitely going to have a referral bonus, and you will get a larger referral bonus for being a founding member of the platform. So let me close that out. So that's our crowd bartering campaign. So definitely look into that if you are interested in being a part. Wait a minute. Click the button. If you are interested in being a part of that, if you're interested in being a part of the new development of Barter Black, definitely join the crowd bartering campaign. I would love to have you. It's been a journey, and I cannot wait to create the case study for it and how it went and things that didn't work out, because we're not going to say that it has been all rainbows and unicorns and all that other type of stuff. There are some downfalls in it, but I am a lot further, a lot quicker by having these people on my team who are committed. And one of the things I wanted to note too is that I did the client discovery. I learned a lot, but what this crowd bartering campaign is telling me is that people definitely believe in the platform. People believe in what I'm doing. And it's showing me that there is a clear demand. I know there's a clear demand for it. I think there has to be more understanding and education around it. But having people contribute their services, their expertise, makes it even more rewarding, because it's not something that they have to do. It's something that they want to do because it's something that they believe in. So that right there makes it so much important. So I am done talking. Again, I am in the car today for day 4 of the Barter Black Marketplace, because I have a conference that ends at 7 p.m. as soon as this is over. So I am parked at the conference to make sure that I can get off and and go straight into the conference. So I am going to give me 1 second. We are about to have our next entrepreneur up, Chantel. As soon as she is set, I will bring her up on the screen. But I hope everyone has had an amazing time this week. You've seen me more more this week than you probably seen me in a really long time. But it has definitely been a busy and great weekend, and I've definitely learned a lot from the different entrepreneurs that have participated. Okay, I think okay. All right, so I am going to bring on Chantel, and I am out of here, and you can do your thing, ma'am. Thank you for coming and have fun.
Yes, thank you for the invitation. And I'm so grateful to be here. Really excited to learn about Barter Black and the Barter Black Marketplace and just to be a part of the collective this week. This is such an exciting thing for me, an exciting time of the year for this. So, yes, Nicole, thank you for coordinating this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with my PowerPoint. All right. Let me know if you can see my screen clearly. Let me go to the chat. Okay. Yes. Okay, great. So, again, I wanted to reintroduce myself. My name is Chantel Brooks. I am the owner of Lucky Lotus Holistic Care, where we empower, we nurture our clients into a thriving space. I'm really excited to talk about how we are embarking on this journey to create cultural competency within wellness. But before we get started, I just wanted to open the floor up because wellness is such a broad topic these days, and we define it in so many ways. Lucky Lotus defines it in our own way, and I wanted to hear from the audience here just to kind of get an idea of what does wellness overall mean to you. So that can look like what you define wellness as, what is optimal wellness, but when you hear the word wellness, what kind of resonates with you? I'll give everybody a couple seconds to add in the chat. And this is such an important question because as we're moving within the company to create a transformative approach, we want to make sure we're encompassing several different factors, which we'll elaborate on. So keep that in the back of your mind. We're going to move on. So at Lucky Lotus Holistic Care, our goal is to empower personal journeys to sustaining a holistic lifestyle, as well as nurture cultural competent relationships with therapeutic practices. So we understand that wellness, going back to my original question, what is wellness? We understand that wellness isn't a blanket approach. We understand that healing and therapy and all of these other activities, whether it be yoga, whether it be other Ayurvedic techniques, each individual is unique. I believe that a lot of what we've known about the current practices with homeopathic and other traditional forms of medicine is that they're based off of, standardized things, but we realize within holistic health, you cannot standardize it. So our goal within Lucky Lotus Holistic Care is to create cultural competent spaces that really reflect the community. And what I mean by really reflect the community, that means we are integrated in the community, we're connecting, we're understanding the cycles, the exposures, we're understanding what people need. And I think myself and my intern and my team to grow that I will be growing with, our goal is to empower, each individual with holistic, a range of diverse holistic tools that you can have in your back pocket that are relevant and sustainable, right? So it's one thing to learn these new practices and to indulge, but are they affordable? Are they sustainable? Are they relatable, right? So we're all about creating that connectivity and bridging that gap in terms of holistic health. It says prisoner window. Got it. So great. I saw the little pocket was there. I apologize for that. So who I am, who am I? I am the founder. My name is Chantel Brooks. I am a clinical instructor. I am also a personal development coach. I'm the founder of Lucky Lotus Holistic Care. I'm also a clinical instructor teaching human growth and development. My specialty areas are nutritional science, cardiology, nutrigenomics, maternal health, just to name a few. So these are some of the topics that we cover in some of our training, coaching, as well as our services. So we break down our service and our products into 3 focus areas where we have coaching, which is about enhancing self-awareness. We're looking in our coaching spaces, whether it be group or one-on-one, to help our clients create and set achievable goals and implement actionable strategies. And again, this is such an important area because, you can come into these spaces, you can connect with different coaches, but we like to take account not just your work-life balance or your career goals, but we're also taking in your physical health. We're also taking in your spiritual and mental health and kind of creating a coaching strategy and a coaching style that overall helps build within an integrated approach. We host, we have another group of our focus area, which is events. So our events, which are some of my favorite things to kind of showcase, really kind of gives the community exposure to all different types of wellness practices, mediums, or techniques to bring into their lifestyles. So most recently, you may have seen people getting into sound baths. You may have people getting into sound healing. Additionally, you may have seen people, moving into a space where they are focusing on their own personal wellness through all different types of Ayurvedic, right, and indigenous techniques. So we really kind of create these events which are culturally competent. Again, that is our thing, making sure that we're creating experiences that feel safe and giving the explanation into our events, into these practices that makes sense, but also the exposure. Additionally, another area is that we create holistic products. So something that I've designed specifically here is the 10-day fasting journal. But generally, I'm going to just kind of talk broadly here. Our curated tools are things that we use as practitioners, as clinicians on this journey and on our personal journeys, our life journeys. And we're using these tools, whether it be our journals, whether it be our meditation sounds and apps. We're using these things to kind of help as a support when we're not present. You have your own practice, your own system, and you're able to create sustainability within your wellness journey. So why? Before we get into our services and our offerings, why? So why is wellness, why is inclusivity important? We know inclusivity is so important for so many reasons. Again, we talk about education, we talk about exposure and cultural competence, but there was a study, I just kind of used this particular statistic. There was a study done that found that 75% of marginalized communities, when exposed to nutrition education, actually implemented these new practices at home. They actually incorporated these new structures and were able to move forward, and said that they found these practices to be sustaining. A lot of times, exposure to things and alternatives is what people really need to make the changes that create positive effects, not just within our homes, our family dynamics, but in our communities and how we show up in our workplaces. And so our why is that we understand that there is no blanket approach to wellness. There is no blanket approach to healing, to, staying centered, grounded, or structuring your own personal life amidst of all of the roles and responsibilities that we show up and take on. But we want to be able to create a culturally inclusive and competent space that gives the community an opportunity to grow and understand and experience different things, kind of a try and fit on type of, trying a dressing room, right? Being able to try different things and discern what you do and don't like, and not feeling limited to those particular resources and techniques. So that's our why and how we operate and why we offer our services. So moving into our service offerings. So currently we have guided meditations, which are beneficial and stress reduction and can reduce brain fog. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can meditate on my own. Or the one thing I hear is, oh, I can do this on my own, or I can't do this on my own. I can't calm my mind, right? So some people will book as a group. Group sessions would be either events that I do, or a client will contract us out to come host a group session for their team or cohort. And we would come through and kind of set up, teaching people the basics of meditation and actually walking each person through, whether a one-on-one or group session, through guided meditations. And again, it's a very beneficial technique, but it's still something that is not as commonly practiced in a proactive or good enough way that really gives people the benefits that are necessary. So you'll see stress reduction, you'll see stress hormones and other things also decline as well. So our coaching is basically personal development, goal planning, accountability. Coaching is one of my favorite service offerings that we have, because in a group setting, we generally kind of tie it to a topic. So we've done some topics that focused around grief and grief coaching. We've done some topics that focused around, taking on new goals, right? Some people, to everyone in this space or to certain people, these things may feel, oh, this is common, this is normal, but there are a lot of people that really benefit from that direct accountability, that second set of eyes, that goal planning, and also helping people restructure. So we come in, whether it be a group or whether it be a one-on-one session, and bring that personal development, planning, coaching, and accountability. And again, the benefit of this is improved self-awareness. We find improved turnaround with work and certain career milestones. Additional service that we offer is Reiki. Our Reiki service is one-on-one. This can be virtual or in person. And the one thing about the Reiki service, we've done this with you'll see some pictures. We've done this with a yoga session when I was in Atlanta. And This is something that a lot of people are now coming into. It's more of a older Ayurvedic technique, but people are learning that, you know, there are spaces where we can do energy work, removing and clearing that help improve sleep and pain reduction. So this is something that's usually done virtual in a one-on-one space. And sometimes we have these special one-off events where we kind of do it together, me, and then there's a yogi that I work with. Additionally, nutrition education, a nutritionist by trade. And so what that looks like, we could do a group class, basics around, you know, picking and planning or preparing certain vegetables and fruits. I've done live demos with these type of sessions for groups where we're you know, introducing people to the healthy way to prepare. So a lot of us always tell people with nutrition education, right? Did you know that spinach has more nutrient bioavailability or nutrients available when it's not cooked, or when it's cooked versus when it's not cooked? So there's a lot of different little nuances with nutrition and the education approach that we do with group. But in a one-on-one space, we also kind of do food recalls. We look at your diet and we help, you know, just improve your decision making, right? And overall, in turn, we look to see a reduction of chronic illness. Now, in the birth workspace, which is something I'm so excited, and I talk about this all the time, and this is something I'm presenting and sharing with everyone here today. We are moving into this space where we will eventually be taking doula clients. And in this space, we will be accepting these clients where we'll be able to do we'll do postpartum, birth, and death doula work for our clients. So we'll be able to service our clients with doulas, as well as have our own classes centered around preparation for birth. By the end of the year, I will be a certified birth educator, as well as a full spectrum doula. So we'll be offering prenatal and postnatal support, educational awareness, as well as nutrition education, lactation education. And what we're looking and aiming for here is to really decrease the rates of medical interventions. So these are all the service offerings that we currently have and within our company. So just to I always like to bring things home. And so when it comes to our products, as I mentioned, we have our holistic products. Something that I am so grateful for in this journey is my relationship with the elders in my life. And so all the time we're pitching, we're like, what's your why? Why are you joining us? Why are you so excited? Why do I have this big smile? Right. And it's because of the foundation. I started all of this holistic healing work and making teas and just all of the work with my grandmother and my aunt when I was just 6 years old. So I've technically been in this space for over 20 years, but I've definitely, this is my why. My why is that I've seen these women heal other people, hold space for other people, create, a very inclusive environment. There was no one that was not welcome, or you couldn't bring anything. You couldn't bring any illness. You could bring any request. And these women were foundational in helping me understand the importance of cultural competency, but also just giving me the knowledge to create these products. So currently on our site, again, we have the fasting journal, and you'll see the price change this week. Additionally, we have our bath soaks. So our bath soaks are essentially associated with just kind of cleansing. If you're an empath, we believe salt and different things help cleanse. This is an old indigenous and Ayurvedic belief. And so we sell our bath soaks and our journal on our website. Additionally, again, moving into that postpartum space, we have what we call our womb butter. And our womb butter is African shea butter mixed with other essential oils that help with the healing of the skin. And then it also has some kind of effect to help with some of the pain. So that's our womb butter product that's on our site. Yes. And so when we talk about client testimonials, so these are just some things from that my previous clients, who've purchased or who've worked with me. They always talk about the feedback. They talk about, the compliments they receive. And so this just keeps motivating me, right? I'm so excited because I have made it to 3 years. And so just a little bit about us. We are, again, it's not a huge team like many people. We are still scaling. We're still growing. We're using every opportunity to be able to connect and learn and expand. That's why I'm so grateful again to Nicole for just even, bringing this idea and this space to the forefront. It's so important. It's so impactful. But just really excited, we're bringing this through. We're bringing a lot of different approaches, but, it's still streamlined. So I'm excited. July 7th is our 3-year anniversary. So I will be celebrating. And these are just a collage of some of the events. I did a guided meditation in Houston where I taught people how to connect, how to meditate. I did some sound healing there. My friend, she's passed away, but she was a yoga instructor that worked with me here in the top right. We had a great event in Atlanta where we just brought a lot of people together to do some root chakra healing. I am such an advocate for shadow work and also supporting men as well, and really creating that diversity and that support. So I was hosting a men's healing circle where I had other men that work in this space kind of come out and share their experiences and create a conversation that was transparent, right, between the male and female dynamic. And then I've done some group coaching, again, which was about boundaries, goal setting, professional development, things of that area. So just to give you a little bit about our journey, since we're in year 3, just about, we've since our launch, we've hosted over 20 virtual and live wellness events. It sounds crazy saying that, but it's true. We've hosted over 20 virtual, live, and wellness events. In year 2, we created our 10-day fasting journal. We grew a following, online following across our platforms with 8,000 followers. Year 3, we have begun preparation to launch our 3 holistic products, our bath soaks, our womb butter, and our teas, which will be coming soon. And then we've also expanded our one-on-one coaching servicing types. But in the future, as I mentioned, we plan to offer the full spectrum doula services, provide conception and birth education services, and host retreats. I'm looking in Belize and Mexico. And again, empowering our future and current mothers. This is the initiative that I'm also looking to expand on. So if you are in this space or in birth work, definitely reach out. I'll have my contact at the end. But we're looking to really, bring integrative support, education, and also, again, cultural competence specialists, because we understand that pregnancy is a spiritual journey in itself. And this is going to be something that will open everyone, to going through pregnancy together. It shouldn't just be the mom and the baby. It should be a community thing. To answer Nicole's question, so who are these retreats good for? I can go back. So the retreats will be centered around general wellness. So you'll have a session on a release. So this will be like, releasing limitations, self-limitations, negative beliefs. So it would have a session on that. We would also have sessions on diet and, bringing and introducing different things and how our diet is connected to our overall wellness. You would also have other activities, such as if you wanted to do sound baths, if you were interested in learning about Reiki, if you're interested, you would have the option to go to those as well. So these are general wellness. This is open to anyone 18 and over. And when I do actually schedule one, I'll definitely even go more into detail about what that would look like. But ideally, our retreats are it's like a refresh, right? It's a rebirth from a year of, or 2 years or 3 years, right? Of just kind of being on the go, being in a cycle. It's just a check-in with yourself. Do I want to, incorporate new practices? Do I want to leave some things behind? So these are what our retreats are set up as. And it's a community thing. So you would be there with other people who are in the same space with like minds. So this is just a quote before I open up the floor to questions. This is just a quote that I love to say. Wellness should not be seen as a convenience, but as a necessity. We must modernize wellness and its accessibility to empower and nurture each individual or each person to thrive. So I want to say thank you to Nicole, to Barter Black, to everyone that's here in this space. It's just been a great opportunity to share where we're going with Lucky Lotus Holistic Care and what I'm looking to expand. I am open to collaborations. I did hear about the crowd bartering. I'm definitely going to reach out about that. But I wanted to open the floor for any questions, any comments or questions about anything that we mentioned. Thank you, Ebony. Ebony say, hey, I love your service offerings. Thank you. And we also have our social media, our LinkedIn. I post a lot of updates on our LinkedIn as well as our Instagram. I'm going to stop sharing. Well, I'm going to turn it back over to Nicole. Thank you so much for the opportunity again. This was such a great conversation to have.
Thank you for coming. I heard that you're traveling. So how does that work? And where are you traveling? Are you in Atlanta?
No, so I'm in DC.
Oh,
I used to live around different cities. So I lived in Texas, I lived in Atlanta, but I have clients all over the United States that I love so much, and so I try to pop up in different cities and coordinate meetups and events that I offer the services at.
okay. Well, I'm in the DC area too. So make
Yeah.
sure you let me know whenever you're having an event.
Mhm.
I would love to support.
Thank you. Yes, I will. I will.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had an amazing time. Let me put up your link one more time before you go. And
Yes,
it's
thank you.
Lucky. What's your Instagram? Because I know a lot of people.
It's Lucky Lotus H. It's at Lucky Lotus HC.
Okay.
Mhm.
All righty. All right. So definitely contact her. I did not know she was in DC, which makes it, I'm at the National Harbor right now.
Oh, nice.
I'm in my car. I don't know if you heard, but I'm in my car because I have a conference at 7. So I
Yes, I
came
did hear.
came to the hotel to host the event so I can get off and go directly into the conference. But I really, really appreciate you, and I'll definitely stay in contact.
Yes, thank you so much. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their week. And I look forward to seeing the next presentation. Have a great
Oh,
day.
thank you. Have a
Bye.
good one.
You too. Bye.
All righty. That was amazing. It made me think about me having to slow down and center myself. The trips sounded like I needed to be there because I am on the go, 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 go. So I probably need to center myself a little bit. But thank you so much for joining this entire week of the Barter Black Entrepreneurship Summit. If you do not know, we are hosting a challenge, a bingo game, where you can mark off things that you've done through this entire week, and you have the opportunity to win reimbursements of your subscription fees. And if you have as many subscription fees as I have, you want to participate in the bingo game. And you can go to our website. Let me put that up. Actually, go to this one, barterblack.io/barterblackday, and grab that bingo card, and you'll be able to submit if you have bingo. If you do the whole card, which probably is not possible if you did not attend the speed networking event last night, you will get a founding member badge on our new platform. So we are launching a new platform. And like Chantel said, we have a crowd bartering campaign. So definitely look on our website for that as well, where we are asking for business owners, experts to contribute or pledge their expertise, products, services to us rebuilding and redeveloping the new Barter Black platform. And if you do not already know, Barter Black is a bartering platform community network for Black entrepreneurs to exchange goods and services with each other, because the budget does not budget, and we don't always have the money that we need to grow, scale, and start our business. So definitely stay tuned, stay connected. Are we back? Oh, she came back. So, yes, what was I saying? So the Entrepreneurship Summit is to celebrate National Barter Black Day, which is tomorrow. And the purpose of National Barter Black Day is to get Black entrepreneurs to get more in tune with celebrating, supporting each other. And supporting each other does not have to be money. My support into this community was hosting this marketplace, so people can get eyes on their products and services. It did not cost them anything to get on this marketplace. But I want to create a community, and this is what Barter Black is about. I want to create a community where Black entrepreneurs actually do work together. It doesn't have to be, are you giving me something? Are you doing something for me? That is not how we grow and scale our businesses. And it shows. It shows in the statistics. And it's not all about the money. It's about the community. If you don't have the community to grow and scale, then you're missing out. And I think we're missing out on a lot by not working together. And that is what I want Barter Black to do, is to facilitate us actually working together. What you ready for, girl? So yes, I think, so be back here tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to talk about building your barter offers. And then we're back here 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the marketplace. We have 4 entrepreneurs who are going to end the events for the week. Reminder, today is the grant list tracker. If you need a form that helps you track the grants, accelerators, programs, whatever you're applying for, go download that on our website, barterblack.io. The coupon code is BarterBlackDay4. You only get to download it today. So make sure you log on now and go get that tracker. And remember that our grant list is on our platform for free. And there are a lot of applications that are due tomorrow. I still have 2 more to do. Lord Jesus. So the grant list is on our platform. You click start here and you'll see the grant list. Every month we post the grant list, the first of the month. So the grant tracker would be good, because I want you to take 20 minutes looking at that list and add those grants accelerators to that list, so you know exactly what you're going to be applying for that month. Okay, so I am going to end the marketplace right here. I appreciate you being here with me. Thank you so much, and always Barter Black.